says it will not be increasing fees next year, and while other university campuses around the country are experiencing shutdowns, it's business as usual at the institution. Joining us on the line from Fort Hare University, we have Leister Phiti, who is the institution spokesperson. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, just firstly, have the students and the SRC welcomed the university's decision over fees?
Thank you so much, and good evening to your viewers too. Yes, of course. When we had the responsibility as the management of the university to unpack what is the meaning of the minister's statement on fees for 2017. And the basic interpretation of the statement from the minister when it comes to us at the University of Fort Hare is that the fees for students will remain as they were in 2015, and the Department of Higher Education and Training will subsidize the university for whatever the University Council shall determine as the required funds to compensate for the zero-fee increase. This is exactly what happened in 2016. The University of Fort Hare has almost 100% of its students falling between the NSFAS and missing middle categories, which are all covered by the minister's statement.
Now, speaking of the minister's statement, had the university made its decision before the minister's announcement, or did you first look at what the minister announced and then came to the conclusion of not increasing the fees next year?
You're fading a little bit. I can hardly hear you, the last part of your question.
I was saying in terms of the decision that the university made with regards to not increasing the fees. Was it a decision that was made before or after going through the minister's statement?
No, we had to be considerate of the minister's statement because we could not preempt what the outcome of the advice of the Council on Higher Education to the minister was. Remember, the minister's advice is based on the Council of Higher Education's advice and broader consultation the minister undertook in the road shows. Then we had to wait for that. And when the minister unpacked it, we contextualized it in terms of what it really means with our situation at the University of Fort Hare, and hence that decision was taken.
Let's look at some of the specifics of the decision that the university made. What are some of the challenges specifically in your institution that the missing middle students face, as well as the disadvantaged students, and how are you going to bridge the gap between those that can afford and those that can't afford?
No, well, because of the nature of where we're coming from, the previously disadvantaged and the rural nature of our university, and the quality of students that we keep on attracting, they are coming from that very same background. And it is for that reason, for instance, almost 100% of our students are falling within that category which the minister has given, that is your NSFAS and the missing middle categories, which is 100% of our students are within that category. Hence, it just became an easy thing. For always, before each and every student is given financial aid, they go through what we call a means test. That's where we see this is the most affording, or this is the least affording, or this is the one that is highly desperate for financial assistance, of which in terms of the minister's prescripts, this is exactly what the University of Fort Hare is all about.
Now, just finally, let's take a look at what's happening around the rest of the country. We've got students protesting at various campuses saying that they want zero-fee increments at their institutions. What's your take on the violence that we've seen today and some of the arrests of students, just briefly?
It is highly regrettable. We would appreciate at this time, I'm sure this is what is in the interest of each and every university in the land, that students, the sooner they are back into the lecture halls, the better, because so much time has been lost. And, it will be very difficult. It will be through a miracle that universities will be able now to recover the time that has been lost. We so appeal, as much as we understand that conditions and situations differ from one university to the other, but sitting around the table and engaging, that's where solutions will definitely come for the benefit of it all. For an example, we at the University of Fort Hare, we still continue to engage with our students And sometimes we agree to disagree on a number of issues, but for the common good of the future of this country, you can imagine at this time, there is no time that this country needs the skills of these young people than this time. The sooner students are back into the lecture halls and the sooner students write their examinations, the best it will be for our country.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on SABC News. That was Leister Phiti from the University of Fort Hare.